welcome back to OT Sports. Today we got our Week 11 NFL game predictions. Very excited for this video. We got 14 games this week, so quite a bit to discuss. Before we get started, I just want to let you guys know, or I guess remind you guys to subscribe to the channel. We got loads of content this time of year. College basketball every Monday, college football every Tuesday, NFL every Wednesday, and then NBA every Thursday. Yeah, I think that's all I got to remind you guys about. So let's just hop right into the standings. Looking at the standings, I'm still in first. I got a 7-game lead still. Pretty much everyone went 8-6 last week except Jackson went 6-8. Jack went 5-9. Jack's just atrocious. We might have to get a replacement because half the time he doesn't even send in his picks. But yeah, I'm in first. Matthew's still in second. Ben's still in third. Connor's still 1 game back at fourth. You guys know Connor. He comes on NBA every once in a while. And then Jackson and Sammy a little bit farther behind. Jackson was the runner-up last. Jackson was the runner-up last year. It came down to the Super Bowl last year. He had to pick different than me, and I went with the Chiefs. He went with the Eagles. He came up just 1 game short. If you didn't know, the playoffs are worth 2 points and the Super Bowl is worth 3, just to make things a little more interesting. But yeah, let's just get right into the picks now. So we got Thursday night football, Bengals at Ravens. This should be a very interesting one. The guys in the middle, by the way, they didn't send their picks in time, so they'll be in the middle. I'm sure they will send their picks, but as of right now they haven't, so they're just going to be chilling in the middle. We usually get Jackson's, but he did not send me picks in time, and then Ben usually waits. But anyways, Thursday night football, Bengals at Ravens. The Bengals coming off a tough loss against the Texans. The Ravens are rolling. They did lose last week. They did lose to the Browns, so both these teams coming off losses. And I'm having trouble picking this one. The Ravens are at home. It's prime time. They've looked so good. They're favored by 3.5. I'm actually going to go with the Bengals, though. I don't know. I've really liked what I've seen from Joe Burrow through the past 2-3 weeks. And yeah, I really like their playmakers. I think they match up well in this one. I think they're going to be able to maybe not stop, but at least maintain or slow down Lamar. Maybe they force some turnovers. And the Ravens defense has been really good, but I like how the offense for the Bengals matches up against them. So I'm actually going to go with the Bengals. I know this one, I was back and forth. This is a great Thursday night game, but I'm ultimately going to go with the Bengals. Steelers at Browns, another AFC North matchup. And these two teams are 6-3. The fact that the Bengals are at 5-4 and at the bottom of the division is just crazy. But yeah, this is a pretty huge game. Now Deshaun Watson is going to be out for the season with, I think it's a shoulder surgery. So that's unfortunate for the Browns. They looked really good last week coming back against the Ravens. And I was looking forward to see what the rest of the season holds for them because they looked really good last week. I was very impressed. And then we learned the news that Deshaun Watson is going to be out for the season, which really does suck. I think it hurts the Browns a lot. I don't even know if they'll be able to make playoffs because PJ Walker is just not a good QB. So for that reason, I know it's in Cleveland. I gotta go with the Steelers though. They've looked really good. Kenny Pickett has looked alright. He's been decent at best, but the defense for them is always a lead every week. You know what you're gonna get. They always bring their A game. I'm going to go with the Steelers here. I like how the defense is going to give P.J. Walker some troubles. They could get some turnovers, maybe even a possible defensive touchdown. So I really like the Steelers in this one. Bears going to Detroit. My Chicago Bears going to Detroit to take on the Lions and Jared Goff and company. Yeah, this is one, it's going to be tough for the Bears to win. Justin Fields is coming back, which I think could help them. This might be crazy to say. I was actually considering the Bears in this one. I think it was in Chicago. I might have seriously considered, just because Fields is a game plan nightmare. Now I know our coaches don't know how to use him, which really makes me mad. I really want them to fire Eberflus, but the defense for Chicago, I will say, has been very good. So maybe just move him to DC. That's what I would do. I would try to get an offensive guy in here because Luke Getzky doesn't know what he's doing. But yeah, Fields is obviously a game plan nightmare. He's gonna create some plays out of nothing, and he hasn't played, so the film they're gonna have to go back in the year, and obviously the team will look different from however long it's been, like 5 weeks ago, to where they are now. So I think that could help Chicago, but it is in Detroit. Detroit's looked like such a good team. It's hard for me not to pick them, especially because they're playing against the Bears, and the Bears haven't looked good all season. But I do see a world where the Bears can win this, which is surprising to say, but I have to go with the Lions. I just can't put my faith in the Bears to win this one. I think it could be a little closer than some people think, though. Next game, we got the LA Chargers traveling to Lambeau to take on the Packers. You know how Lambeau can start to get around this time of year. This is kind of when it all starts. Um, but ultimately, I got to go with the Chargers. I don't really like what I've seen from Jordan Love. He had a good start to the year, but recently he hasn't been looking great, and neither have the Packers in total. But I guess neither have the Chargers. They really need to get rid of their coach. I've said this every week. It feels like I probably have said this every week. Yeah, I just can't trust their coach. I mean, what are they now? Like 4-6 or something like that? No, 4-5. But yeah, they have the talent. I mean, they have the guys on their team to be a playoff team and a very good team at that. Possibly a 10-win team. That's just how good based off on paper looking at the roster. But the coaching just isn't there for them. They have so much talent, though. I think it just overwhelms the Packers. I don't think they'll be able to keep up offensively because the Chargers defense as well has a lot of playmakers. Khalil Mack, Derwin James, just to name a few. But yeah, I don't really see a world where the Packers win this one. Raiders at Dolphins. I'm going to keep this one short and sweet. I think the Dolphins win pretty big here. The Dolphins like to just dominate bad teams and average teams. The Raiders are probably the definition of an average team. They're 5-5. Dolphins are favored by 13.5 at home in this one. I think they're coming off the bye from last week, so they've had some time to rest, some extra time to prepare. I really like the Dolphins in this one. Again, they don't lose to bad teams, but they can't really beat the good teams, which could come back to hurt them down the line. But I am going to take the Dolphins against the Raiders. Like I said, they tend to beat up on the bad teams. I think that's kind of the story here. I don't think they'll be able to handle all the speed. I don't know when A-Chain's coming back. It might be this week, but I'm not 100% on that. But even without him, I think they should be alright. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Raheem Mostert, all that speed is just going to be tough for the defense to stop. The Raiders' defense does have Max Crosby, but I don't really know how their secondary's been looking this year. I would assume it hasn't been the best. Um, and against this team, this is kind of when you need it the most. It's a heavy passing offense, but Raheem Mostert will still get you the rushing yards and touchdowns. So I mean, one of the better, probably the best offense in the league. So yeah, I don't think the Raiders and Aiden O'Connell can keep up with the scoring for the Dolphins in this matchup. Giants and Commanders, an NFC East matchup for Week 11. Um, what's the Giants QB name? DeVito, Tommy DeVito, something like that. I think it's Tommy. Yeah, he's bad. He's really bad. They lose to the Cowboys 49-17 last week. They looked bad. Tommy DeVito, 86 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, and an interception. He took 5 sacks. He had an 18 QBR. It's kind of all you need to know. He's not a good player. The Giants are just horrible year, 2-8. Daniel Jones, I think, is out for the year. Actually, I might be making that up. I don't know if he's out for the year, but yeah, just a tragic fall off from how good they were last year. They were like 9-7, and they won a playoff game. But yeah, I don't think they beat the Commanders in this one either. I can't trust Tommy DeVito to go out there and score points, even against a lackluster defense. Sam Howell's been looking pretty good. I think the Commanders offense should be able to open up a lot of things this week, and I think they're in for a great game. I gotta go Washington. It is in DC as well. Cowboys at Panthers, another one. I just don't see a world where the Panthers win this one. The Cowboys looked very good last week against the Giants, and the Panthers are one of the few teams that may be worse. I don't know if I would say they're worse, but there's an argument. Some people would probably say they're worse. I mean, record-wise, they are worse. So there's that if you want to look at it that way. I think the Giants are just slightly worse in my opinion. But yeah, Bryce Young, the Cowboys defense is going to give them a lot of troubles. I'm expecting, and I don't think the Panthers defense will be able to contain Pollard, Dak, CeeDee Lamb. Jake Ferguson's been great. Just all the guys they have over there. I don't think the Panthers realistically have a shot at this one. Give me the Cowboys. Titans at Jags. This is another one. Like, there's a lot of just not too great games this week. Now, I'm sure it's the NFL, so there's going to be some good games. But yeah, this is another one. I don't see a world where the Titans win this one. It's on the road, first of all, in Jacksonville, so that's already an advantage. And the Jags just have the better team here. Will Levis has had some high highs. He's been up and down. I think he should do all right in this one. This is an upset pick, I guess. But I don't know. I think the Jags rebound from last week. They didn't look great against San Francisco. I think that maybe ETN gets shut down, but even if so, I'm not really worried. The Jaguars have tons of playmakers, and ETN's still a problem coming out of the backfield catching the ball. So maybe they have to lean on the pass a little more, but even if they do, I trust their pass game enough, and I'm not really worried too much. They got plenty of people to throw to. Zay Jones, Christian Kirk, Calvin Ridley, Evan Ingram, ETN, like I said. They got some other guys in there, like they're Hasty. He gets some catches. So yeah, they got plenty of guys. I don't think the Titans defense will be able to lock up all of those names. And then looking at the Titans offense versus the Jags defense, I think Will Levis and D-Hop could be in for a big game. I think they're going to probably have to keep up with the Jags offense. So maybe a little bit less Derrick Henry and maybe some more of Tajay Spears. But yeah, I got to go with the Jags. Cardinals at Texans. Texans are looking great. And I think it's time that I bring this up. CJ Stroud, in my opinion, is in the MVP conversation. As crazy as it is to say, I know he's a rookie. I love CJ Stroud, so that you might call me biased. I am an Ohio State fan. But, I mean, he's just, when you look at the stats, just based off the stats, he's currently having a better season than Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Lamar, all the big names. He's having a better statistical season. Now, the team isn't winning as many games as those other names. But, well, I guess the Texans did just beat the Bengals. But, yeah, they looked good in that game. CJ Stroud is playing great football. I got to go Texans here. They're also at home. The Cardinals coming off a win last week. I think they're kind of due for to kind of settle down and reclaim their place at the bottom of the league. No more Josh Dobbs, so they got their whoever they have in there. I don't even remember his name. That should tell you all you need to know. He's not good. Oh wait, I forgot Kyler Murray's back. Well, that makes this one a little more interesting. I'm still gonna go with the Texans though. I completely forgot Kyler Murray was back last week, and the Cardinals actually did look decent in that one. Kyler Murray did look decent in his first game back against the Falcons. I still got to go with the Texans, though. They're just playing some great football right now. Next game, Tampa Bay going to San Fran, making the long travel to play the 49ers. Yeah, I'm going to go 49ers here, along with everyone else. Yeah, I don't think the Bucks offense will be able to get much going against the Niners defense, and I don't think the Bucks defense will be able to get much going against the Niners offense. I think it's just a matchup nightmare. The Niners are by far the better team here, and I think they dominate them on all sides of the ball. They just beat up on the Jags, and the Bucks are a lot worse of a team than the Jags are. So I gotta go with the 49ers here. Jets, Bills. This is all right. So yeah, with the Bills, it's time to panic. You kind of already saw it from the organization with them firing their offensive coordinator. Yeah, it's time to panic for them. Losing to the Broncos. I think they were at home too. Yeah, they were at home. They lose to the Broncos. That just can't be happening. They're now 5-5, and they have a realistic chance to miss the playoffs. I don't even know if they'll be able to catch up and make the playoffs. This is probably their easiest game left on their schedule. Well, no, they do play the Patriots, but the rest of the schedule is Jets, Eagles, Chiefs, Cowboys, Chargers, Patriots, and Dolphins. Those are some. I mean, almost all of those are playoff teams. The Jets, Patriots. Well, the Patriots for sure not, but the Jets and Chargers still have a realistic chance. And then Eagles, Chiefs, Cowboys, and Dolphins. Those are all Super Bowl contenders, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm very worried for the Bills. I do think they win this one. They have to. But as much as I hate to say it, I could see a world where the Jets go out there and win this one. The Bills just haven't looked great this year. I am still going to go with them because it's the Bills and it's Josh Allen, and they're playing against Zach Wilson. But I could actually see the Jets winning this one. The matchup almost tells me Jets, but I am still going to go with the Bills. I got to trust them. Seahawks Rams, I've been back and forth on this one. The line is Seattle -1, which surprises me. The Rams actually have a 55% chance to win. I'm actually going to go with the Rams. I feel like I got to make it interesting. I got to take some upsets. Yeah, I don't know. The Seahawks 6-3. They beat the Commanders barely last week. They haven't looked great, in all honesty, this year. I know they're 6-3, but they've played a pretty easy schedule. They got dominated by the Rams in Week 1, and now they go to LA. I think the Rams are kind of just due for a win. I like them. Maybe the Seahawks corners can match up well against Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. The Rams still do have some playmakers there. I think Stafford might be out though. I'm not sure. I think Stafford's playing. How about if Stafford is playing, I'll go with the Rams. If he's not, I'll go with the Seahawks. But in my mind, he is playing, so I'm gonna go with the Rams. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like this one for an upset. So give me LA. Moving into the Sunday night game, I don't know why was the choice for Sunday night. Vikings Broncos. Josh Dobbs. This might be America's team this year. Everyone loves the Josh Dobbs story, and I am one of those people. It's a great story. Good for him. He's now with the Vikings. The Vikings are looking to make the playoffs, and I think they have a very realistic chance to do so. But they're going to play a Broncos team on the road in the altitude. You know how that can be. The Broncos on a 3-game winning streak. Past 3 weeks, the past 4 weeks, they beat the Packers, they beat the Chiefs, they head into the bye, and then they beat the Bills. The Broncos are heating up a little. So this one could get a little interesting. I'm actually gonna go with the Broncos. I think they keep their hot streak alive. I've liked what I've seen from them. Sean Payton may be starting to figure some things out. I like what I've seen from Javonte Williams. He's looking like the number one running back there, and he is looking like he's overcome the injury. And then for the rest, Russell Wilson, Jerry Jeudy, Courtland Sutton, they got plenty of names over there. I do like their matchup against the Vikings defense. Looking at the Vikings offense, that could be a problem. I don't know if Justin Jefferson is back this week. I think it still might be next week. But if he is back this week, I might have to switch to the Vikings because the Vikings offense is worrying me a little. This one could. I don't know if I like the Broncos here, actually, if it does turn into a shootout, which I think it could. I am still going to go with the Broncos. It's in the altitude. I don't know. I'm just feeling them. I feel like the Vikings can't keep winning. I feel like they might be due for one. And the Broncos have just been so hot recently, and it's in the altitude. You can't underestimate that. So I'm going to go with Denver. And then the Monday night game. This is by far the best game of the week. This is probably one of the only, just looking at it, like, team, just looking at team next to team, this is probably the best. Well, this is the best game this week, but this is probably one of, if not the only good game we have this week. I mean, yeah, this is a great game. Last year's Super Bowl, they're rematching on Monday night. I'm very excited. I'm actually going to be on a plane while this game is happening. I'll let you guys know about the upload schedule for next week and details about that tomorrow in the NBA video. I'm probably just going to pre-record some. I'll probably skip NBA that week, and then I'll just pre-record the other 3 videos. But anyways, Eagles, Chiefs. I'm back and forth. It's in Arrowhead, though, which I think is ultimately the deciding factor. You know these teams. I mean, you saw them throughout the playoffs the entirety of last season. The Chiefs are favored by 2.5. This one's in Arrowhead, though. And, yeah, this one's so tough. Both these teams are fully healthy. Both these teams, I mean, 8-1, 7-2. We could potentially see this again this year in the Super Bowl. That's just the reality of the situation. I am gonna go with the Chiefs as much. I don't know. I just can't see the Chiefs going 7-3. I feel like that's too. I feel like that's too many losses at this point in the year, which is crazy, 7-3. But I think the Chiefs win this one, make both these teams 8-2. Um, the tush push is there for the Eagles. Maybe that's a factor. Both these teams, though, with great offenses and great defenses. This is going to be a very high quality football game. I'm very excited to watch. I am going to go with Kansas City, though. So, yeah, that's going to do it for our Week 11 NFL game predictions. Like I said, I'll let you guys know a little more about the upload schedule in tomorrow's video for next week. I'm going to be out of town for the majority of the week. But, yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for NBA Playoff Watch Episode 4. Make sure you go back and the 2 videos appearing on the screen at some point soon. I don't know. They could be on the screen now. They could be on the screen shortly. Those are my 2 most recent uploads. Make sure you go check those out. College basketball, college football. 2 very good videos. As always, my Twitter, or not my Twitter, my X and Discord will link in the description. You could follow that, join that, whatever you like to do. And make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell to make sure you don't miss out on any of our up and coming videos. Make sure you like this video if you enjoyed. I'll see you guys tomorrow with NBA Playoff Watch Episode 4.